Today we are going to the 50 most dangerous serial killers. Ivan Killer, known as the Pillow Killer, killed and robbed old women in France's Alsace region, but also confessed up to 150 murders, including in France, Germany, and Switzerland. Killed himself before trial. Fred Herman, also known as the Butcher of Hangover and the Vampire of Hangover, because of his preferred method of killing by wetting his victims' throat sometime while sodomizing them. He would then dump the bodies in the nearby river lines. Bruce George Peter Lee is a British serial killer and arsonist. He confessed to total 11 acts of arson and pleading guilty to 26 counts of manslaughter. 14 of these were overturned into the separate appeals. Lee was sentenced to identify secure hospital detention in 1981 and remained detained as of February 2022. Zhang Jung was a Chinese robber and serial killer. From June 1993 to September 2000, Zhang and his associate robbed a total of 22 stores in Songjing, Hunan, Hubei, Yunnan, and Guangxi, killing 28 people and wounding 23. The total amount stolen was alleged to be 5.26 million yuan. The Monster of the Mangons is the name given to a identified Colombian serial killer who between the 1960s and 1970s murdered between 30 and 38 pre-adolescent and teenager boys in Cali. Believed to be a native of the city, he would kidnap and later killed most of his victims in various remote vacant plots. Ramadan Abdul Rahim Mansour was a gang leader known as Al Turbini, the express train. He had and torture homeless children, mostly boys aged 10 to 14 years old, aboard the train between Cairo, Alexandria, Columbia, and Suez. The victims were usually thrown off the moving train when they were dead, or in agoing other time they were thrown into the Nile or buried alive. Mansour was executed in 2010. Haj Mohammed Mafi, called the Marrakesh Arch Killer, was a Moroccan serial killer who murdered at least 36 women. Mafi worked as a shoemaker and trader in Marrakesh, assisted by a 17-year-old woman named Anaha. Mafi killed young women who came to his shop to dictate later. He drugged his victims before decapitating them with a dagger. Moroccan authorities found the remains of 20 multiple bodies in a deep pit under his shop, while another 60 were discovered in the garden outside. Raman Raghav. In the late 1960s, Raghav went a violent rampage in Mumbai, India. He bludgeoned 41 people to death inside their hut while they sleeping, with the first round of murder taking place in 1965 and 1966 when 19 people were attacked, and second round of killing taking place 1968. He was caught by Maharashtra police on 27 September. Raghav was served a death sentence due to mental illness. He died in hospital while in prison custody in 1995 by kidney failure. Andrei Chikatilo, known as the Butcher of Rostov, the Red Reaper, or the Rostov Reaper. Chikatilo was convicted of the murder of 53 women and children between 1978 and 1990. One man was previously convicted and executed for his first murder. Chikatilo was executed by gunshot in 1994. Abdul Jabbar was an Afghan serial killer and rapist who killed at least 65 people and was suspected of murdering over 300 men and boys. He would strangle his victim with a turban while wrapping them. Jabbar was arrested by police while trying to kill another victim. He was sentenced to death and hanged on 21st October 1917. Two innocent people had previously been executed for the murder. Daniel Camago Barbosa was a Colombian serial killer and rapist. He is one of the most prolific serial killers in history and is believed to have raped and murdered at least 72 young girls in Colombia and Ecuador during the 1970s and 1980s. Luis Gravito, also known as La Bestia or Tribulan, was a Colombian serial killer who sexually assaulted 200 victims before sexually assaulting and murdering 193 victims, mostly young men and boys, from 1992 to 1999 in Western Colombia.